So we're going to look at the midterm project that we got here. So let's go ahead and open it up. So start right off the bat. At the top, you can see from BS4 to import beautiful soup. What that's doing is kind of calling to functions in beautiful soup. Then the line right below that, similar to in C, when you are including, you're basically including libraries um, so that this can call to functions outside of the program itself. Then we get to def wp underscore request. So this function is generating the request to the um, WordPress. That's passing in cookie val and target URL. So we can see that that test cookie variable is equal to the string cookie semicolon and then cookie val. Request sent is actually what's sending the request. If you look, we're looking for a post on the target URL, and then the cookie is equal to what we just created right above that. And then right below that we have soup equal beautiful soup. So we're creating a variable to be able to query for the request sent.content, which right below here we can see that if dashboard in soup.title.string is found, print success, otherwise print failed. So what that's saying is if we pull up WordPress, once we logged in, dashboard is going to be the first thing in the title. So if that string is found, return a success, otherwise return failed. Now for line 21, what we're doing here is creating the hash. So we're making salt equal to key and salt, or the hard-coded test plus password, which we'll get to down later further in the program. And then the hash equals hmac.new salt data hashlib md5 hex digest. So we're using the hmac algorithm on salt data and the md5 and returning it as a hexadecimal notation there. And then we're going to return that hash in our main function. The next function we're going to get to here is, this actually should be T. Well, I guess this doesn't matter. I was kind of playing around with this earlier. Couldn't get mine to work for some reason. So what we have is we're generating the password fragments. So the default HSW, which is actually starting on character 10. I was trying to do the first character instead of the last one. So if we log into MySQL, we can see that that 10th, 11th, and 12th digit there is HSW. So now we're generating on the ASCII table a list from exclamation point to tilde, incrementing by 1, and storing that in the array to append the default plus whatever character was found in that char generation. Then we get to, oh, yeah, okay. Then we get to the attack, which we are using the auth scheme. And if we look at generating that password frag, we can see that it's calling up to that function right above it there, the generate password fragments function, which we just looked at in the MySQL table. to create that password frag. And then right below that, we've got this target hash. So what we're doing there is we're using the digest returned as a string that should be twice as long, containing only hexadecimal digits off of that target variable that's been passed in. And then we're looking at that cookie ID, and the helpful hint there was to look here and see what was being passed as the, I think it was auth cookie or auth authentication. Anyway, that string is just WordPress underscore. So then we're storing that in a variable, and then we are looping through all the password fragments here, conjoining those, or I don't know if conjoining is the right word there, but we're basically setting key, which I probably should have changed the variable type there, calling that function, passing in the username, the fragmentation that we just looked at just above, pipe plus expiration key plus salt. And then we're setting that hash to, and then we're using that we're using that to double the length again, off of the MD5 again in hexadecimal. Cookie is going to be our new variable that merges the cookie ID plus the target hash plus username, and then this is actually just like this, which is the pipe key, but we had to URL encode it because you can't pass a pipe through in the URL. So we're actually building our cookie here, and then we're going to call that function to test our cookie on our target, or a target URL if you'd rather. And once those fragments gets done, it's going to print attack complete, and then we're going to know that our attack is finished. So we get down to our main argument here, or main function here. Look at username equals password, and we can just double check that in our WP config. So our auth key is test, our auth salt is password. So we got we got those two. Expiration date's been set, and then we have our target equal to our local host. So if we go ahead, save this. Go ahead and run that. We're going to see failed, and it should come up with a success. And once it does come up with a success, it should automatically rotate to that attack complete, and you should be logged in. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out what was going on. If I had a little bit more time, or if I would have started it earlier, I probably would look and make sure that I am generating enough values here, because I'm only generating that first. I'm only generating for T. I probably would create another array and see if I couldn't generate the T and H right here, see if that would do anything. So I just use a nested for loop for that. But that's my program, and yep. This is how we fucking party.